which is going to be starting with this next one, which is Watchmen. So today we're doing a review on the Watchmen series. I know the series came out like 7 years ago. I'm way behind. But I finally got around to sitting down and just watching it. I love DC. DC is my favorite comic book series. And Watchmen is a part of that. It was his own comic book saga, and then I think they were joined into DC at some point. And I love the Watchmen movie, and I thought, hey, they did a Watchmen show. Let me see what it's about. And it turns out this is a sequel to the movie itself. All the events happen like 20 years, 30 years later, or something like that. So, the Watchmen. Let's see. Let me bring it up here. It was created by Damon Lindelof, and of course based on Alan Moore's Watchmen series. So basically, what it's about, oh man, I can't even. You know what? I can't even begin. I can't begin to even try to explain this to you all because it's so convoluted and it's so up and down, and I don't even know how to even begin. So basically they got okay, I'll try to do it like this. So Watchmen it happens like 30 years after the original event, in 1985, when Rorschach was killed by so spoilers on this, by the way. So Dr. Manhattan, by the end of the movie, he realizes that he was being used by Ozymandias, the smartest man in the world, who basically orchestrated this whole event, tragic event, to cause all the world leaders to come together and stop fighting in order to fight against Dr. Manhattan himself, if I'm not mistaken. But then Dr. Manhattan, in order to save face, in order to keep that lie alive, Rorschach was going to go out and tell everybody that it was their own superheroes, the Minutemen, that orchestrated this whole thing. But Dr. Manhattan was like, no, we need to leave the secret alone. But then Rorschach was like, you have to kill me. If you don't stop me now, you have to kill me. Do it. And then Dr. Manhattan was like, shh, and he blew him up. He's like, no. He killed him. Then Manhattan went off to Mars to go and create life and to be away from people. So then that happened in the movie, at the end of the movie. 30 years later, here we are. And come to find out, so deep spoilers. So what happens is Dr. Manhattan, instead of going to Mars, he actually went to Europa, the moon of Jupiter, and he did create life. So he goes and meets Angela, and while he's meeting Angela, he's also meeting Angela's grandfather, who turns out to be Hooded Justice, and then he's also experiencing the future all the way at the end too. So he's talking to her, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have a life together." It's not. I'm not saying this like I'm asking. I'm telling you this is what's gonna happen. And of course, she doesn't believe it because it's Dr. Manhattan. He can do anything. But at the same time, he wants to live a life. He finds her interesting. He knows that he loves her, but he doesn't understand why he loves her. It's not gonna happen until later on in the future. It's very convoluted. But then, so they ended up having a life together. But to come to find out, he's also talking to our grandfather, which is Hooded Justice. So Dr. Manhattan, in the past, when he meets Angela, he's like, hey, we're going to live together. But, of course, him being Manhattan, he changes himself to look like a black man and all this kind of stuff for her. But then it comes to find, it's like, you know what? He's still too godlike. He's still too powerful. And his mind is still too aware of everything. So he puts a thing on his head so that he has no memories, like he has amnesia. And he can be a regular human, and he gets that little device from Ozymandias, and Ozymandias does this for him in order for But he's like, hey, give me something in return. He's like, all right, I'll send you to Europa, where I made the paradise. So he sends him out there. At the same time, Ozymandias has already met his daughter, who he didn't know about, and his daughter that's a whole other thing. But his daughter is just as smart as he is, if not smarter. And then she actually ends up saving him from Europa at some point and brings him back to the future in the regular time. So Dr. Manhattan is living a regular life with Angela, but a lot of this 7th Cavalry comes up and they start really messing up life and stuff. Really paraphrasing that. And then she's like, hey, I gotta unlock you again. So she takes the thing out of his head. He becomes Dr. Manhattan again. And then once he does that, it becomes a problem because now he's exposed and she's exposed because she tries to go save him. And when she tries to go save him, she gets in trouble. So he goes out to save her. And by saving her, he exposes himself. So the 7th Cavalry captures him. And then when they go to capture him, that's when Ozymandias' daughter, her name is True. True comes in and kills everybody from the 7th Cavalry. So he does that. She gets Dr. Manhattan and she kills him, takes his powers. And right when she's about to give his powers to herself, that's when Ozymandias, who was already hating his daughter, came in and was like, oh, I got you. And he kills her. And then, so Dr. Manhattan's just gone. And everything kind of wraps up. That is a paraphrase. I'm telling you, I am paraphrasing this whole thing. But that's the gist of it. It's very back and forth only because Dr. Manhattan he's the middle point of all this. And he's like in 3 different timelines all at once. And you think you're looking at the present time, but you're actually looking at the past. But you're looking at the future at the same time. It's crazy. But it was such a good show. It was so well done. All the characters, look, this is a 10 out of 10 series. This is fantastic. It was only 1 season, and I get why it's only 1 season. As I look at it and I watch it, I'm like, I don't know what else you do. Because Dr. Manhattan was the middle point. Excuse me. He was the middle point of the movie, and he's the middle point of the series as well. So if he's gone, there is no series or movie. There's no other seasons left to do. But I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very cool. I feel like I do understand it. I will say it can get a little over the top. It can get a little like, what's going on? But I swear if you follow it, I think they do a really good job explaining a lot of it, especially once Dr. Manhattan comes in by episodes, I think it's 9 episodes. So he comes in at episode 7. Once he comes in, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I really liked it. I don't know what else to say about this show, honestly. I think the Hood of Justice, I like the story. I really like what they did with the story with Hood of Justice. But I don't know if I really like all the things they made him do in the series. And if you watch the series, you know what I'm talking about. It just seemed a little unnecessary. It just seemed a little weird. I still can't wrap my head around it. I still don't really understand what they were going for. Other than, I get the shock value and I get the twistedness of it, considering Hood of Justice history with racism and attacking, getting his revenge, and you know, like having a twisted mind of knowing right from wrong, knowing good from bad, knowing feeling loved and not feeling love, feeling infatuation, appreciation, and all that kind of stuff. I get all that, but I just don't know if it was appropriately conveyed in even if he had a tragic outcome of his own psyche. I'm not sure if it was, to me, if the impact was really done in the correct method. I do see why it was done in that method. When you watch the series, he has a very unnatural relationship with someone, and I was like, but would he turn to that? Is that his way of getting back at people who were racist toward him? But then I'm like, okay. All right, I don't know. It could have been done a little different, but I think it was still done very, very, very well. There's a lot of tragedy, and then there's a lot of good that was done out of it as well. So, highly recommend the series. I'm not sure what else I could say about this, except it's a high recommend. I'm so glad I watched it. I don't know why it took me so long to get through the series, but I think it was well worth it. Well worth it. Let's see what else. So yes, I'm gonna end the review for Watchmen right there. I thought the filmography was great. Thought the storytelling was great. Characters were great. It's a 10 out of 10. I don't know what else to say. It's a great series. Go watch it. It's still on HBO Max. It came out in 2019, but it's still worth a watch. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment, share down below.